Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Couples Academy show. Today is Friday. I'm back in the saddle all by myself, but it's okay. I've got you with me. We're talking about relationship Q&A. Whatever your questions are this morning, we want you to post them right now so that when we get back, we can jump right in. We'll be right back. This is the Couples Academy show. Well, good morning, everyone. All of you who are on YouTube, Periscope, where else are we? Facebook. Good morning this morning. Listen, today is a special day because it is the first day of the Unbroken virtual marriage retreat. If you have not registered, it is not too late. Just click the link at the bottom of the description of this video and you will be with us today. We start at 3:00. We're excited about all that's going to be happening. Listen, if you haven't registered and you know you have an available weekend, this is something you do not want to miss. We've been in high anticipation over the last few months and we are finally here. We're finally here. Danielle's not with me because she's putting final touches on an amazing presentation she's making tonight. It starts at 3:00, goes to around 11, and then tomorrow picks up in the morning around 7:00 a.m. and goes till somewhere in the evening as well. Listen, before we get into the questions, just a few commercial breaks. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Stephen, yours truly, Shanice, Rhea, people calling in from, Kiera, Angela from Australia, Jamaica, wherever you are around the world. We're glad to have you here this morning. Friday is the day where you get to ask us whatever you want. So whether it is issues dealing with, I'm single and I'm trying to enter into a relationship. Maybe you're dating, maybe you're in a committed courtship, you're engaged, you're married, you're on the verge of divorce. You've just been impacted by an affair and you're vacillating back and forth as to what you should do. This is the day where we want to hear from you so that we can dive in deep and give you what it is that you need. So we're going to jump right in. Yours truly, Shanice. Is it possible to overcome infidelity without a therapist? Right now, we cannot afford it as much as I would like. And I'm having a hard time seeing my partner in a good light, and he wants to fix us. Well, I appreciate that question. Many people are in a position where affordability is a major issue for you. I would say that it is very, very difficult for you to overcome an affair in a healthy time frame. You know, statistically, it says it takes upwards of 2 years to heal from an affair. And that is if you're getting the proper help, if you're in a process or a program that's guiding you through, because there should be a three-pronged approach. There should be an approach that focuses on your marital recovery, number one. Number two, your individual recovery process, because typically there's the betrayed spouse and then there's the unfaithful spouse. And both of you are hurting, but in two completely different ways. And so you need your own individual healing as well as the collective marital restoration to get you where you need to go. But then you need somebody who's going to help unpack the affair. The affair recovery process is very specific. So, you know, if you can't afford it, I don't know, what the rates are out there, but there are all types of other things that you can do. There are support groups that you can join. There are group coaching programs. We have one, the Moving Forward program. There are a myriad of books, but the problem is, when you're reading books and when you're watching videos and you're by yourself, it's almost like flying your own plane. Like, do you have the skill set to get in a plane and fly? Probably not. You probably would need a pilot who has expertise knowing how to navigate you from one location to another. So maybe there's someone at your church who offers some type of ministerial counseling. Possibly there's a support group, but why don't you just reach out to us, contact us at couplesacademy.org so we could figure out how we can help you in your situation. But I will say you need a third party, because you know what, even if you have the best of intentions, as they say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And if I'm trying to steer the ship and I'm trying to, counsel me and counsel my partner through something, well, automatically there's resistance, because you two are in a difficult place. You're not connected. You're not open and receptive. There's hurts, there's pains. And to be able to move you out of your situation into a place where you feel like you need to belong is very challenging when you're doing it on your own. But in the meantime, continue to tune in to the Couples Academy show. In fact, on top of that, listen, guys, I want your questions to come in, but I want to let you know that next week we are starting a new series, and it's called Overcoming Infidelity Complexities. And so what we want you to do, even right here in this thread, type in what you want us to cover. Right? So we're going to be dealing with what happens when there's a pregnancy, what happens when there's an STD, what happens when there's an affair with a close friend or family member. There are many complexities involved in an affair, and every situation is uniquely different. And some of you need to know how to navigate through those particular circumstances. And so that's what our series is going to be dedicated to. It's probably going to be pretty lengthy, and we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of things, because these are the things, or these are the reasons why people are reaching out to Couples Academy in the first place. So I hope that answers your question. All right, guys, it's your opportunity. This could be a short call today, or we can have the typical amount of time based upon your interactions or any questions out there. Dealing with communication, dealing with trust, dealing with finances, dealing with anything. It can be in regards to your marital situation, your family dynamic, your personal life. Here's your opportunity to do so now. We're here for just another few minutes, but maybe you guys are in a great relationship and all is well, and there's nothing really more to know. Well, if that's the case, then great. Maybe you could share some things with us about how you've taken your relationship to the next level. But I will say, listen, this weekend, you want to register for the Unbroken Marriage Virtual Conference, Retreat, Getaway. Is going to be spectacular, something that you've never experienced before. I'm just excited because I know some of the things that are going to be happening. It's going to be very experiential. It's going to be fun, but yet it's going to have a spiritual intensity, and it's going to have breakthrough information that can help transform your life. So make sure you tune into that. Stephen has a question. I'm not trying to get away from my unfaithfulness to my wife, but how do we work on ourselves to be healthier, a healthier version of ourselves for the marriage, because we're about to separate? Well, listen, if you've gone through a process, if you've been through counseling, if you have not, the reality is you are the lowest common denominator in your relationship. Now, if you have taken your Enneagram personality assessment, of which Danielle kind of administers and guides people through, it gives you a clear indication of who you are. And when you can become self-aware about your own stuff, now you know what you need to work on. And there's a pathway that she gives you that helps you move from your destructive side of yourself to your unhealthy side. That's a step up. Then from unhealthy to average, that's a step up. Then from average to healthy, that's a step up. And then from healthy to very healthy. And so it's about taking the time to work on yourself. If you don't take the time to retreat, to get away, to work on you, at some point you're going to want to throw up your hands and just retreat from everything. So there's a phenomenal book that I'm reading that talks about the importance of getting up early in the morning when you're alone and by yourself, wife and children or husband and children, they're still asleep. You need your own sacred space to work on you. And in that hour, let's say that hour of power, there's time that you're spending working on your spirit. There's time that you're spending working on your soul, and there's time that you're spending working on your physical body. And see, as you become better and more secure in those spaces, it allows you to show up as a better partner, as a better parent, as a more productive citizen. So your spiritual foundation and going in depth with that, having a real relationship with yourself where you can be honest and assess your faults, your flaws, your idiosyncrasies, and beginning to chip away and work on those things. Listen, think about it. What are the things that your spouse has been complaining about? What are the things that you are self-aware of? What are your habits? What are your major setbacks that keep you trapped in a cycle that produces the same bad behavior? That's how you work on yourself. Digging into those things, finding scripture on it, finding how-to videos, Googling articles, working with a therapist, being a part of a support group. See, going to a support group, going to a therapist, reading a book, that's not the work. That's where you find out what you need to do, and then you do it. Like I could read all day long about working out, but unless I get in a gym and do something, I'm not going to get any results. And I think most of us are so committed to being bookworms and information junkies, and we're consuming information. But when it comes down to the actual work that's needed to be done, we're not doing it. And then we're like off to the next, off to the new. So I would say find something that works and work it. It will work if you work it. So hopefully that answers that question. Kathy says, how can you encourage your spouse to be consistent? How can I help my spouse be truthful? Well, number one, that is a value within him that he needs to develop for himself. He needs to realize the importance and the benefits of being truthful and honest and integral and being vulnerable. So number one, it's something that he has to embrace. You can't convince it. You can't try to force him to be something that he's not. That change has to come from within. So what is the blockage? What's causing him not to do that? Let's unpack that. Let's assess that. And then once he's committed to embracing that as a core value within himself, now it's about creating an environment that is safe for the truth to come out. So we say this all the time, that both partners have a responsibility in one operating in truth, because if I'm cut off, if I'm shut down, if I'm judged, if I'm made to feel wrong for whatever, then I'm going to close up. It's almost like a turtle in a shell. Like I only come out when I think it's safe, but the moment I fear and struggle, I enclose myself again. So both of you have a part to play. So since you're asking about how can you encourage him, reassuring him, letting him know that, listen, babe, I'm coming in a non-judgmental way. I'm seeking to understand. Like all of those things help to create a safe environment for you to move forward. All right, next question, Latasha. Do you have a support group for the betrayed partner? Actually, we do. We have our Moving Forward program. We put commercials on here from time to time about it. Just reach out to us at couplesacademy.org, set up a discovery call. But the Moving Forward program is for both the betrayed spouse and the unfaithful spouse. And we have groups within that group that really help to give you the support that you need. Kiara asked the question, how far is too far when it comes to changes and boundaries that the offended spouse is trying to enforce in the relationship? I mean, how could I answer that? No clue. I mean, at the end of the day, I need to know what those boundaries are that you're referring to. But here's the general principle. If it works for you and doesn't work for your spouse, it doesn't work for the marriage. If it works for your spouse and doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for the marriage. So you have to come up with something that's mutually beneficial, that makes sense, that gives you some wiggle room and freedom and allows you to be your individual self when you're operating in integrity, but at the same time builds thick walls and parameters and boundaries around you and your marriage to protect the integrity of the relationship. So I would need to know more specifically what that is. And so if I were to give you some generic answer without knowing the specifics of that, it probably would not serve you. But hopefully what I shared with you is somewhat helpful. JD Pruitt says, my wife is still angry with me after 2 months of separation, and she's been in a different state since January for a new job. And now she is pregnant and is upset because she feels like I don't trust her. So is there a question? I need a question. That is a situation that you probably need help navigating through. It goes back to the other person's comment about, can you do it on your own if you can't afford it? Well, I don't know if affordability is your issue, but I would certainly recommend that you not try to figure this out on your own. As much as we can give you great content and insight here, sometimes you need somebody to dig into your particular situation to guide you through a process. So please reach out to us. Next question from Raya, forgive me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. As a spouse, how do you encourage active listening without causing friction between the couples? Well, I think it's important that couples understand what active listening is. I think we all have our own way and method of communicating, which is counterproductive. Danielle talks about all the time how based upon your personality style, you communicated in a different way. Listening is a major aspect of communication. And interestingly enough, when you ask the question, who really controls the conversation, the person who's speaking or the person who's listening? Well, the reality is it's the person who's listening. The person who's listening can then ask a question that can steer that conversation in so many different ways. So active listening means is uninterrupted. It means I'm not multitasking. I'm not on the computer typing. I'm not watching TV. I'm not scrolling through my phone. I am giving you my undivided attention and making eye contact with you as you engage with me. As you say something, I'm like, okay, tell me. I'm giving visual cues that I either understand or don't understand what you're saying. You can then look at my response and know that I'm actively involved and engaged. I can occasionally weigh in. Yeah, okay, tell me more. That kind of lets you know that that person is listening. Sometimes from time to time, repeating back what was said just to make sure that you get it. A lot of times in a conversation, one could say something, but someone's hearing something very different. Because as I'm communicating, I'm giving you a message, but I'm encoding a message to you. And as the listener, you are decoding what I'm encoding. And that's when the breakdown happens because of misinterpretation, faulty assumptions, internal dialogue. We're attaching different meanings to the conversation. So checking in and weighing in. Are you getting what I'm saying? Really say back to me what you think I'm trying to say to make sure that we're on the same page before we go to the next thing. That type of thing is what we would call active listening and significantly helps couples as they engage in conversation. Next question. How do you deal with someone who has cheated, left home, and done so many painful things? Problem is he can never fully take responsibility for his actions. He always says, I'm sorry, but, and all I could say is I'm sorry is not enough. I'm sorry is just a verbal type of, yeah, my bad. Okay. But repentance should come with, I'm sorry. And repentance simply means turning course and going in another direction. And so there's a video that we have, I would encourage you to watch, and it's entitled, You Will Cheat Again Unless. And we talk about the 6 things that you need to do to keep from cheating. At the end of the day, if you've cheated and you've kind of fractured that relationship, you have to step up. You have to overcompensate. You have to go beyond the call of duty to restore not only your spouse, and yourself, but the relationship as well. So I would encourage you, get into some counseling, even if it's one-on-one at first, if he's not willing. Oftentimes one-on-one individual counseling can transition into couples counseling that may be able to help you. Next question from Lakeisha. You have often said that you can't fix your mate, and I personally have tried and found your statement to be true, Good therapy is critical. Absolutely. You cannot fix your mate. There's nothing you can do to fix your partner. However, what you can do is fix yourself. What you can do is change yourself. And when you make changes within yourself, it can influence the change in another person. And I'll give you a basic example. Let's just say I'm the main cook in the house, which I'm not, but let's just say that I am. And I come home and I say, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with all this red meat. I'm done with all I'm going vegan. Right? I'm going vegan. And from this point forward, I am not cooking. Now, I can't tell you what to do. You can continue to eat pork and swine and hog, and you can eat, I don't know, that gristle and, whatever you want to eat, chitlins and all pig's feet. You can do all of that, but I'm not doing that anymore. And therefore, I'm not cooking it. Okay, so if you want it, you're going to have to go outside of this household to get it. Now, eventually, that could influence the diet of your partner because you're the one who cooks. So the change within you, because you decided to work on you, could influence and lead to a shift in behavior in your partner where they come around and say, you know what, maybe I should give this up. So it's the difference between being a thermometer and a thermostat, right? A thermometer is something you put in your mouth to kind of assess what is the temperature. A thermostat helps to change the temperature. And so when you become the thermostat for your own life, you begin to change the environment and the temperature in that household for something new and something different to happen. So you can also do that with your partner. So hopefully that helps. Yours truly, Shanice. I'm tired of teaching my partner how to treat me as his spouse. He does not try to remember things that I like. How can I let him get my love language? How can I let him get my love language without me telling him what I do all the time? So there's a couple that we work with, and this is a constant problem where there's constant conversations about something, yet nothing is done. So this partner helps the other partner by providing them with reminders. So there are particular things that she'll write on his on his bathroom mirror or bathroom wall where he constantly frequents. And so, boom, he sees it. Okay, boom, I got to do this. So we tell you this all the time. Use your phone as a source of support for you, right? So you have a note section in your phone. You have alarms in your phone. I don't know what your love language is, but whatever it is, I encourage people to put it in the alarm on your phone that rings at a particular time. So, oh, yeah, hug my wife. You go over and you hug your wife. Oh, yeah, text something to my wife. You go over and text something like a love note to your wife. Oh, okay. Pick up the laundry. Okay, now you have constant reminders that's reinforcing what you should be doing. Couples who actually do it see tremendous results in how things go in their household. So I would have the conversation again. I would write down the particulars of how you need your partner to communicate your love language, and then create a system of reminder and accountability that can ensure that it actually gets done. Is the Moving Forward program free? No, the Moving Forward program is not free. What you're tuning into right now is free. Okay, that's why we have this as a daily show. Articles online are free, but if you want a book, you're going to have to pay for it. If you want a Moving Forward program or counseling sessions, there is an investment for that. So yeah, hope that answers your questions. These are good questions, guys. I hope that this is helping you and giving you what you need. And so this is why I'm always asking, ask your question. We have a series coming up. What is it that you want to know about? How can we give you the how on these particular issues? This Overcoming Infidelity Complexities series is going to be a truly in-depth series. And we want you to be able to take advantage of that so that you can begin doing some things now in your relationship that ultimately make a difference. So guys, we appreciate you this morning. I hope that this was helpful. We're going to start this new series on Monday, but I hope that you really have an amazing weekend. And listen, if you're not doing anything, feel free to join us. Once again, it is the Unbroken Marriage Conference. It starts today at 3:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope that you will be with us. We love you guys, and we will see you next week. So do something special for yourself. Do something special for your spouse. Do something special for your marriage. God bless you guys. Can bring us